Okay, so now that we've got, let me do that, it might help. Now that we've got our sheet made up and it's all dry, this is what it looks like. Okay, it's very flexible. Acrylic paint dries flexible. I have a cutting machine. I have a Silhouette. If you don't have a Silhouette or whatever, a cutting machine, or you don't want to use yours, then you can lay a stencil on this and you can take an X-Acto knife and you can cut out whatever designs you want, and then you just peel this away from your design. But I have a Silhouette and I use that, and I get beautiful, perfectly cut out designs. But if you do have a cutting machine, please, please, please make sure that you've done a thin coat. I want to show you how thin this is. When it dries, it'll thin up. But this is like, you probably can't. It is not as thick as a piece of paper. Well, maybe about the thickness. No, it's less than a piece of paper. I don't know, but it's very, very thin. You don't want it too thin because then it won't come off the pad. But you use about as much paint as you saw me use. And then when it dries, it'll be really thin. It should be thin enough. And that's why I said you wait 2 days before you put this on your cutting machine, or you could ruin your cutting machine. So I'm just warning you ahead of time. This is what I do, and I'm showing you how I get my butterflies and my coral and my sea creatures, everything. How I do this. You don't have to if you don't want to. Just put a stencil over it, take your little X-Acto knife and go around, and you'll still be able to use this technique. Okay, I've created all these cut lines, all of these. You don't really have to do the side ones. That's why I stopped. I was like, wait a minute, I don't need to do that, because the edge of the mat itself, it's going to peel up from there. So this you can delete, and I may just go back and go ahead and delete it. And I missed one here. I went to the send area right here so that I could see the cut lines that I've created and make sure that they're not too close to my design. I'm sorry, I know I'm not doing this very well. Make sure that I'm not too close to my design. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to remove these two side ones, and I'm going to add one right here and one right here, and then I'll be back. Right now we're going to go up here, now that you've got your design, whatever it may be, and it's laid out and it's far enough apart that you're not going to, you know, it's not going to roll the paint up or something. That's why I'm doing this. I do not want this to hurt my machine. So I'm staying away from the edges, and actually I see this one is a little bit too close to the edge. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm actually going to make it smaller because there's no way really to move it over. And that looks better. So go ahead, and this one I'm going to make a little smaller too. Not much, just a tiny bit. Okay, look at all your edges. Make sure that this is my edge that it tells me I have. And so I'm well within that. And on the other side, the same thing. Here's the edge of my cutting mat that the machine tells me, and I'm like 1.5 inches over from it, and I do that on the top and the bottom and the sides. Okay, now we're going to go over to send, and here's your, let's see, what's the wrong way? here's your design, and you've got all those beautiful, nice red, dark lines. That's what it's going to cut. And that is so detailed. Just look at how detailed it is. You know, if you've got one of these machines, you can get some detail. But to be able to cut paint is just miraculous. Okay, I have mine set for vellum. Whoops. Where am I? Here. I have it set for vellum. I have it set at force 19. Where are you? I can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. Force 19 and speed 6. So, one pass. And I have a very old machine, so I'm using the blue cutting knife. I don't know what the color is, or this part right here. I don't have that because mine doesn't have the numbers on it and stuff. Mine is just like blue, yellow, and pink colored, and that's what you plug in. So anyway, I'm getting a new machine for Christmas. I'm so excited about that, and then I'll be able to like show you things with using this setting. But for right now, I'm going to go and I'm going to stop this again and set this up, and then we'll go ahead and I'll let my machine do the cut, and then I'll be right back. Okay, and here we go. Here's our sheet. It's all cut and ready to go. So now we're going to peel it. Remember, it's on that piece of file material, that thin piece of plastic. We're going to peel it off our mat. And let's see. But here's our mat. And I did want to show you, you do not want to peel this whole thing off at one time. And here's why I told you to do the little cut lines that I added. You're going to take one corner of this. If I can get it, there we go. Well, maybe not. Okay. You're going to start to peel it. Oh, looky there. Do you see? I can't see if you can see. Ah, okay. You see it? It's still on. It's still on my piece of plastic, and I want it to stay here. I want to only peel this part of the skin off. And I'll tell you what, it took me, I've been doing this for a while now, and it just finally dawned on me a few days ago that I was like, just the labor intensity of peeling it off without having to put those, without putting those cut lines in it was incredible. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way. And of course there is. So anyway, this is, look at, this is just, I think it's a miracle. So here we go. And voila. And here is, well, for pity's sake, there we go. Here's your piece. Here's your beautiful piece of coral. Now, what I do is I take these off and I put them on a piece of parchment or a piece of freezer paper. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? And look how, I mean, it looks just like coral. We're going to use some of these. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to put these on your pieces. But this is what I do when I'm finished peeling all this away from it. Then I take, I'm going to adjust this again. There we go. I take a piece of that freezer paper and I carefully peel these off, and then I carefully place them here and just put them, give them a little rub, and I leave them another day, even 2 days, out, just out. And then I put them in a freezer bag, just to keep dust off of them and to keep them from drying out too much, because I don't know at what point acrylic paint left exposed becomes brittle. I don't know that. So this is how I protect these. But you can see how, like, it's marbled in the right places, and the places where it has the little cells, it's really going to be impressive because coral has a lot of holes. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate you supporting my channel by subscribing. Thank you very much, and please leave me comments or questions. I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.